Hello and welcome to episode 200 of the podcast. I'm going to share what I'm knitting, made some progress, I've finished something, and I've done a bit of crochet, and also show you a little bit from one of our days out over Easter. So I hope you enjoy today's video. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through my website YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Before I forget, Tuesday's video, I basically went through and answered all the Game of Wool application questions, because they are currently casting for season 2. Yes, there will be a season 2, and I basically went through the list of questions that they ask on the application form and answered them. And no, I haven't applied because I don't think I would qualify. It does say if you make the majority of your income from knitting, then you can't apply, although I don't get that, because I saw somebody who owns a yarn shop who said they were asked to apply for season 1, and if you own a yarn shop, surely, unless it's a second job, surely you make most of your income from knitting. So I found that a bit strange anyway. And plus, you know, there was an indie diet in the last series, and some of the people there certainly published knitting patterns before, although I imagine they weren't making the majority of their income from knitting. That video was that on Tuesday, so if you want to know what the questions were and what my answer to the questions were, that was that on Tuesday. And thank you to everyone who's watched. It's got great viewing figures, which is great. All the Game of Wool videos do. I saw somebody complain a while ago, well, I guess it would have been when Game of Wool was on telly here in the UK. I saw somebody complain about why there were so many YouTube videos talking about it. And the answer is because people watched it. All my Game of Wool videos got massively higher viewing figures than anything else I post, apart from a video complaining about Tom Daly's tutorial on, was it left-leaning decrease? His SSK tutorial, which wasn't an SSK or whatever it was, I can't remember now. But yeah, it's a hot topic in the knitting world for some reason. So that video is out. I've got workshops coming up at the end of April in 2 weeks, I think, at Black Sheep Wools. Last week there was one space left for my Filet Crochet workshop in April. I haven't looked to see if it's been taken or not. Then I'm back in June and July, and I'm teaching Orenburg lace knitting, Filet Crochet, top down raglan, I think that's full, and brioche knitting. I think top down raglan and brioche is full last time I looked, but I don't know about the others because I haven't looked since I did my newsletter last week. So last Wednesday, Thursday, I think. So I don't know, but I'll link it below if you're interested. And oh yes, giveaway. I need to announce the winner of the giveaway. I did the draw just before I started filming, and I've commented on the winner. So if you're the winner, email me at info@yarnaddict.co.uk and let me know which course you would like. So this is my 5,000 subscriber giveaway. We are 5,030 now, I think. Help me get the 6,000 and we'll do another giveaway. My goal is to get the 6,000 by the end of the year. So we'll see. And also, thank you very much to those of you who commented on that video and left me some tips for Italy. We're going to Italy in 2.5 weeks, I think it is. Not long at all. And we're staying there, Pompeii. We're hiring a car. We want to go to Naples. We're not driving into Naples. We're getting the train. I think there's a train station near where we're staying. I asked about Sorrento, and some of you recommended Sorrento, and an island, which I can't remember. I've written it down. I can't remember the name now, but I did write it down. It wasn't Capri. One of Simon's colleagues suggested Capri. I'm worried it's going to be too expensive and too touristy, but let me know. Do we go to Capri or not? My husband likes value for money. He doesn't like to feel he's being ripped off, which is why I'm wondering whether it's a good idea. And then, do we explore the Amalfi Coast? We've hired a car. We can only have one driver on the car because adding a second driver is going to be quite a lot more expensive. So Simon's going to be the driver because I'm much better at navigating, and keeping an eye on Google Maps that he is and giving directions when he's driving. When I'm driving, I seem to have to do both, drive and look at Google Maps, whereas when he drives, I'm the one that keeps an eye on Google Maps and tells him where to go. So we've decided that he's going to drive. I do most of the driving when we go to Norway, so I think he can drive on this holiday. And so thank you for those of you who left tips for that video. I need to start doing a bit of proper research and make a list of some of the things we want to do. We don't want to overdo the sightseeing bits. We want to enjoy our time a bit as well and relax a bit. And we're hoping it'll be warm enough to go have a few days on the beach as well. So the winner of the 5,000 subscriber giveaway is Janice Stevens 9769. So Janice, if you see this, send me an email. I think you said in your comment which course you wanted, continental knitting. So send me an email and we'll sort that out. My online courses include continental knitting, successful brioche knitting, successful lace knitting, Scandinavian colorwork and steeking, successful socks, and finishing techniques. And I'm actually going to do 20% off all my online courses for the next week. Probably do it till the end of next week, I think. I haven't set it up on my website yet. I'll do it this afternoon when I did this video. But I'll put the code and everything on the screen and below. So if you weren't a winner, but you fancy doing one of my online courses, use the 20% off code to take any of the courses you want to. You keep indefinite access to all the courses, and you can pop in and out, watch the videos and read the content as often as you want to. So you can watch the whole thing through and then dip in and out, or you can just dip in and out depending on what you're interested in. And even though it's self-guided, you can ask questions under each lesson, and I'm around to answer questions. So even though it is self-guided, I'm still there to support you through the course. So I'll link everything below. There's a page on my website where you can click on each course and read what's included and the price and all that kind of stuff. I think they're very reasonably priced. I think all of them, or most of them, I think all of them, you can choose whether to pay in pounds, English pound, British pounds, pound sterling, I think that's officially the currency, pound sterling, or in US dollars. So choose whichever currency works best for you. We'll start with what we did this weekend. It was Easter weekend. My daughters were both home for the Easter weekend, and my oldest daughter is still home. She's got a week's holiday, so she stayed home. It was her birthday over the weekend, so we celebrated that. We did a bit of National Trust visiting this weekend. So on Friday, my youngest daughter was home. My oldest one didn't come home till Friday afternoon. So we went to Saltram House in Plymouth. Don't know if I did any videos from there. I think I did. I think I did do a video from there, but not the other place. So I'll pop the video up here. I did it in portrait. So I'll pop it up here. And we had a look around the house and a look around the garden. The weather wasn't great. And then on Saturday, we went to, I think it was Saturday, we went to Buckland Abbey on the edge of Dartmoor. All these local National Trust places we've been to dozens of times probably. And then and we also went into Plymouth, did a bit of shopping and walked the dog and different things like that. So we had a fairly quiet weekend, but we did do a few things. So when we were out and about, I took my hat project with me. So this is Simon's hat. And I made quite a bit of progress. I have that much yarn left. I need to measure it actually, so I don't make it too long. So it's going to be, or it is my Cornwall hat. I don't know if I got my Cornwall hat sample here. I'll pop a picture up on the screen, but basically it's going to have one color on the outside and then another color on the inside, and you can wear it either way. And it's going to have a folder brim, so the brim will be in the contrast color. So I'm basically making half the hat in this color, and then I'm changing and doing the other half in a dark gray. I need to measure this and see how much I've got to go. So that's where I was last week, so that's how much I knitted. I only knitted on it when we were out and about this weekend, so not a lot. 2.5, 3 centimeters maybe, so not a lot. I didn't knit a lot on it, but I did knit on it when we were out and about this weekend in the coffee shop and stuff at Saltram House and at Buckland Abbey. Just going to touch this stitch marker again. I'm also thinking about what to knit on holiday. I have got this ball of yarn, which is Fino, Monos Uruguay Fino, which I wound up like last year for a holiday, and then I did something else. I'm thinking about taking that because that's not too big, but it is, I think, nearly 450 meters or something. So I was thinking maybe a little shawl with that because it's fairly small and easy to carry around with me, and maybe a pair of socks. We'll see. The other thing I've been working on a lot is my sweater. So I haven't worked on my sandball sweater at all, I don't think. I was going to try and finish the first sleeve. There was one evening we were watching a film. We watched Evita, that's right, Evita with Madonna and Antonio Banderas. I saw it in the cinema. I don't think I've seen it more than once before, but I bought a CD for it afterwards because I was a big Madonna fan back in the day, and I bought the CD afterwards, and it's on my phone, on the music player I use on my phone. So I do play it, some part of the soundtrack. I don't like all of it, but part of it is on my playlist. And so I do listen to it, especially in the car, quite a lot. I haven't seen the film, I don't think, since it was in the cinema, because I don't think it's ever been on Netflix or anything. So Simon got me the DVD for Christmas, and we haven't watched it. So the girls went to see Evita in London when he was on in the West End, and they said it was fantastic. I think the actress, I can't remember who it was, singer who played Evita, probably a lot more talented a singer than Madonna. If you're a Madonna fan, I like Madonna, but I don't think her singing ability is like extraordinary. But I think she did much better in that film than her like music before that. Anyway, we watched Evita, so I was thinking maybe I'll pick up my sandball sweater because I thought it's easier to do. I don't really have to look at it, just knitting around on the sleeve. And then I didn't, because I really want to make some decent progress on my pink sweater, and I have made some decent progress on my pink sweater. So last week I was saying that I didn't know whether I would put it on hold when I got to the underarms and knit the sleeves, or where to carry on. So what I ended up doing, first I did the back to the underarms, and then I picked up stitches at the shoulders and did the front to the underarms, and then I joined at the underarm, which is here, and I knitted that much. So I basically used 100 grams skein of yarn for the upper body to the underarms, plus maybe a couple of repeats. And then I joined in a second skein. I have 4 skeins, which is why I was thinking about doing the sleeves first, because I'm slightly worried that I don't have enough yarn. When I put it into my spreadsheet, it did come up with 6 skeins, which sounds way too much. So I thought I will knit 1 skein on the body, which I have done. So body is probably from the underarm, probably about halfway, so it's about that much. It is quite stretchy though, so it will stretch a bit when I block it. So maybe halfway from the underarm to the hem, I guess. And then, so I finished that last night, and then I picked up stitches for the armhole last night. I haven't actually done any masks for the armhole, but I did pick up stitches for the first armhole, and I knitted about 5 stitches or something, no, about 10 stitches. So I haven't really done anything on the armhole or on the sleeve, but I'm going to knit the first sleeve, see how much yarn that took. I joined in a new ball of yarn, see how much yarn that takes, then probably also do the second sleeve and the neckline, and then finish the body, because that way I can adjust the body length slightly if I run out of yarn. I wanted to have long sleeves. I also need to block it before I can decide how long the sleeves are, because it's drop shoulder sleeves. When I block it, it will stretch a little bit, both widthwise and lengthwise, so I need to know how much it's going to stretch widthwise, because that'll determine how long I want the sleeves to be, depending on how far down my upper arm it comes. Obviously, if it's here, then it's going to be longer. If it's further down, then the sleeves are going to be shorter. So I'm going to knit probably about 3/4, or when I think the sleeve is getting close to long enough, and then I'll block it and try it on, and then finish the first sleeve, work out how much yarn I've used, and then probably do the second sleeve as well, so it's done. and do the neckline, and then just finish the body. I want to get this finished before we go on holiday. I think I might be doing, but I'm thinking in my head it's going to be light enough to take to Italy with me. It might be too warm. I may not be taking it. It may not be as light as I think it is. The yarn is Terra from Symphony Yarns from Nipro in the Kapow Pink colorway, which I really, really like. I've been wanting to use since I first got it. I ordered 4 skeins wholesale, and I ordered 4 skeins of the, I think it's called Tutti Frutti. It's like it's the natural undyed color with loads and loads of neon speckles. I also ordered 4 skeins of that because I didn't know which one I wanted to do. And I am thinking by using the 4 skeins of the Tutti Frutti for a crochet garment, a very open, lacy crochet garment. I saw some the other days talking about the difference between knitting and crochet on social media, saying that crochet didn't have the drape that knitting does. And I was like, well, that's not true. With crochet, it very much depends on what stitch pattern you use. And it does the same with knitting. Depends on your yarn, stitch pattern, and needle size. And crochet can be very stiff and rigid and solid fabric like this. This is doubles, I think. Yes, it's doubles. American singles. It can be very solid. This is quite stiff. Or it can have beautiful drape. It just depends on what stitch pattern you choose, what hook you choose, and what yarn you choose. So I am thinking by using those 4 skeins of Tutti Frutti for a crochet garment and make it very lacy and open, so that it would be something very light I can just throw over in the summer in the evenings and if it's a bit chilly. We had our first really warm day yesterday. This spring has been felt colder, I think. We quite often get some really lovely weather at the end of March and in April. Quite often April, May and June is much better than July and August. 6 years ago when we were in the first lockdown, the weather was beautiful. It really improved like the weekend, I think, before lockdown. And then it was, most of the lockdown was absolutely beautiful weather. We sat out in the garden so much. Yesterday was the first really warm sunny day we've had in Cornwall. We've had a few other sunny days, but it hasn't been that warm. But yesterday it was over 20 degrees and it was beautiful. Today it's like nearly 10 degrees colder. So I was going to sit outside yesterday afternoon, but then my neck and my back was hurting, so I sat inside because it was more comfortable. And I was thinking maybe I'll be able to sit outside this afternoon when I come back from the gym, but I don't think so because it's quite overcast and windy today and a lot cooler. Anyway, this will be my priority project for this week. I do also want to try and finish the first sleeve for my sandball sweater. It's sitting next to my chair, looking at me, making me feel guilty. And I don't know whether to just put it away till I feel more motivated to work on it, or whether to force myself to try and finish it. But this is my priority, to finish as soon as possible. I've also been doing quite a lot of crochet this week. So I released this a couple of weeks ago. This is my Love is in the Air Belay crochet scarf. It's worked flat and then sewn together. I'm going to do a tutorial for this because I found a complete way of doing a completely flat crochet seam. This is completely flat. There's no ridge here at all. The only way I can see it's been sewn together is because I know where I did it. You can kind of see it. There's like you can see where you joined. You can't feel that it's completely flat. So I'm going to do a tutorial on that sometime, coming up sometime in May probably. But this one is a very simple filet crochet, which is what I taught my filet crochet workshop on at Stitch Festival in March. It's going to be one of the 2 options, hopefully, for my filet crochet workshop at the Black Sheep Bulls in April and June or July. I designed it quite a few years ago. I was teaching filet crochet years ago. I think I only taught a spinning yarn in Devon. My notes are dated, I think, 2013, so 13 years ago. And basically these 2 patterns were designed for that. This one is the other one, which I've changed quite a bit. I now realize that doing it in this dark color was probably a mistake, because I took some pictures yesterday and you can't really see the stitch pattern that easily. You can see it if I put my hands behind it. So it has a diamond pattern, and it also has something called diamond laces, which you can't Oh yes, there it is. Can you see underneath my hand, like in the middle of the screen, there's like a diamond shape inside a box? I don't know if you can see it. So it's basically made up the same way as the Love is in the Air scarf, in that it's basically like a rectangle and then you work the next rectangle onto it. So it's kind of modular, but you make them all one after the other. So you don't have to sew them all together. You just sew the short ends together to join it at the end if you want it as like an infinity loop. I made them the same size so they're interchangeable. This one was very difficult to photograph. I may actually try and photograph it again wearing a light coloured top. I was wearing quite a light coloured top yesterday. I was wearing a lilac crochet top, I think. I'll pop a picture on the screen. But I do think I need to do it in a lighter colour. I do also I've done it in a YarnAddict merino cotton light blue colour. I just did one motif just to isolate it and show that as a close-up in the pattern. And you can see the pattern much better on that. So I'm thinking about making another one. This one and this one are both, this pattern is out now. These are both made out of one skein of Symphony Yarns Viva, which is a DK yarn. Superwash merino. It's really lovely to crochet with. I chose this colour because I really like it and I've been wanting to use it for a while, but it is really, really dark. Very dark purple with some bits that are almost black. They're not quite black, but they're close to black, and I really like this. And I can see myself wearing that a lot next winter. But it's not very easy to actually see the pattern. So I am thinking about making it in a lighter colour. I was going to go for one of the Viva colours that are lighter, but I also have quite a lot of Spectrum Fibre DK yarn because I did one of her yarn clubs a couple of years ago. I think I did 6 months and then I cancelled it because I hadn't used any of it. So I have it all sitting in a basket over there. So I might choose one of those because that's a similar thickness yarn. It's slightly speckled, most of it. So I might choose one of those and make it out of one of those just to see what it looks like in a slightly more speckled, variegated yarn. We'll see. When I was making this, I timed myself on each section. And the first one took me an hour, and then after that it took me about 45 to 50 minutes. I think it got quicker. I think the second one I timed myself at 50 minutes, then I probably got quicker after that because you start to memorize the pattern and see where the pattern, so you don't have to keep looking at the actual written pattern all the time. So I decided to do one a day. There was one day that I didn't do any, possibly Saturday, because we were out a lot on Saturday, so I did 2 the next day, or 1.5 over 2 days. I can't remember, but anyway, I wanted to finish it by Monday. I finished it on Monday, blocked it before I went to bed, and then finished the pattern on Tuesday and sent it to my tech editor, which was my goal, and I managed to achieve that goal. So I could make one of these. It doesn't take that long. If I do one section a day, I can have it finished by early next week. So I might look for a yarn. Just looking at what I've got over there. Let me just see if I can grab one again and show you some of the choices I've got. But first, this is the Cornwall hat. This is what I was saying, that it's one colour one side and one colour the other side. So this is the hat I'm making for Simon, and then you can fold it up and you can have it either way. So the brim will be a contrast colour. Right, the Spectrum Fibre. This was the, I can't remember, it wasn't last year, so it must have been 2024, I think. That's the May colourway. I did label them all. That's one I've used a bit of already. March, July. My plan was to do one big project with all of them, and then I just didn't get around to it. June. This is probably the one I might choose because it's pink, which I like, and it's not too speckled. And then 2 more. We got January. I also quite like that one, but I'm probably more likely to wear the pink one. And February. This one I won't use because it's too orange. Don't like orange. I'm keeping it in this baskety thing from Bookhow. I think it's a Canadian company. I bought this years ago. That might be the one I choose. I like that one. These two are quite similar, I would say. That one looks very much like the Tutti Frutti from Symphony Yarns Terra that I'm planning to use for my crochet sweater. Maybe I'll go for that one. I think these two are my shortlisted ones. I'm worried that one might be too speckled, but one of those I think will be what I'll go for. Anyway, that's not all the crochet I've done this week. I'm just keeping an eye on the time because I got an appointment to get my eyebrows done this morning. So I've got 10 minutes and I gotta go. I've also been crocheting some motifs this week. I'm working on my workshop submission for the Knit and Stitch festivals in the autumn, so Ali Pali and Harrogate. So one of the workshops I'm adding to my proposal is crochet motifs. I'm also going to add this to my full day workshop list. So I've been basically crocheting circles this week of various circular shapes. So I've been using Yataghan Merino cotton, just been doing some little shapes just to play around with some different design ideas, little flower and just a basic circle with trebles. Don't know why there's like a pink bit. Can you see that there? I don't know why that happened, but that, or how that ended up there. This was one I did yesterday, and then a little flower motif star. So I've just been making as part of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just to work out some design ideas and things like that. So, but I'm gonna use those for my workshop proposal, and then I need to work on some other shapes for my full day, to add to my full day workshop list, hopefully from this autumn. We'll see. But yeah, I am looking for some more crochet ideas. I had a couple of ideas for workshops for the Knit and Stitch shows in the comments to last week's video. One was Orenburg lace knitting. Orenburg lace knitting I think is going to be too complex for the Knit and Stitch format. Knit and Stitch shows they want your workshops to preferably be an hour. They prefer an hour. You can also do 90 minutes and 2 hours. You really need a full day to do Orenburg lace knitting properly justice. What we basically do is we make like a little mini Orenburg shawl and use a very specific construction. And to have time to do that properly, you really need a full day. So I won't be adding that to my Knit and Stitch list. I am adding lace knitting and beaded knitting, I think, to my list. But not Orenburg lace knitting. Also, somebody suggests for crochet, like crochet purses and bags and things. Again, it's the time element. That's a bit of a problem with the Knit and Stitch shows, because it's not even like a full half day. If I was doing like a full half day at a yarn shop, it'd be like 2.5 to 3 hours. That little bit of extra time does mean you can do a lot more. I noticed a big difference at Knit and Stitch in Harrogate last year and Stitch Festival this year, between the 90-minute workshop and the 1 hour workshop, and the 2 hour workshops were much more relaxing. But it's trying to work out what works best, basically. Right, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Come back next week and see how much progress I managed to make on my pink sweater, and which one of these I choose for my second diamond filet scarf, and if I make any progress on that cyberball sweater. Want to place any bets? No, probably not. If you are Janice Stevens, email me info@yarnaddict.co.uk and I'll send you a link to your price. I'll send you the link to sign up to your price. If you are interested in my online courses, check the link below. I'll put the discount details below and on the screen. Remember, 20% off for a limited time only. So I don't not very often do 20% off my online courses. So this is a big discount. I don't normally do 20%. So take advantage of that if you're interested. Don't forget to check out my Tuesday video where I answer the game of all questions if you haven't seen it already. And also I have patterns in this month's The Knitter and Knitting magazine. So check those out if you haven't. And I'll see you next week. Thank you very much for watching.